right, what's up, everyone? We are here for IndyCar this week. We had a pretty good race. I've been seeing a little bit of hate on the race at Barber, but overall, I think it was pretty good. And we have the Indy GP up next.
We will be there at the Indy GP this Saturday.
Yep.
So really excited for that. But yeah, overall, I mean, boring race, yes, but by no means bad.
I just real quick want to hit on the Firestone moment of the race. It was Ferret Boy almost sending it into the wall when Lundgaard had a banger passes on like everyone in the field.
Three.
Or we had Rossi charging through the field early on and then getting absolutely killed by strategy by his team. ECR's got to work on that. He had an easy top 10. I think if they had not put him on primaries for the last tire, I think they should have seen how the race was unfolding and put him on the primaries on the second stint.
Yeah.
Or just, I mean, we're seeing the primaries suck this year at road courses. Nobody wants to use them.
Yeah.
It's like every single race has been an alternate race, I think.
Yeah, the race is to get off the primaries. That's the whole.
Yeah, so just run them early, run them as little as you can. Just hit that fuel number. The minute that fuel number hits, get onto the alternates.
Yeah. I do think it was nice that it wasn't a fuel save because of it being was it 3-stop?
Yeah, and they're implementing the new rules starting in Indy, so we'll see if that helps band-aid it. But I mean, you know how I feel about artificially trying to improve racing.
Yeah, I think it's so. I guess let's get in that real quick. Let's first recap the top three, and then we'll get into those tire changes we have coming for the Sonsio Grand Prix. Alex Palou, dominant form.
Yeah, like 30 seconds ahead. Something like that.
A perfect race for him.
I was kind of mad about the TV direction, I will say. It might have been F1, actually, where they showed the winner instead of a battle that was happening. I don't remember.
I think that was IndyCar.
I feel like it happened with both, and I was yelling at TV direction for Fox and F1.
Yeah.
Both NASCAR and IndyCar and F1, so.
Yeah, I think it's because Scotty Mack and Rinus VeeKay were pretty close to each other.
Yeah, but Rinus had a tire advantage on willpower, I think, and he just had a pace advantage.
Yeah, so Scotty Mack held on, but the top three: Alex Palou, Christian Lundgaard, Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah, I
Alex
mean,
Palou just continuing dominant form this season.
3 out of 4 race wins in the first.
Worst
3 race wins.
Is 2.
Yeah,
hasn't been outside top 3 yet this year.
So that puts him at a, what is that, average finish position of like 1.3, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Wild stat. Let's just, since we hit the top 3, who did you have in your top 3 for your predictions, Ryan?
My top 3 was Scotty Mack, Christian Lundgaard, and Kyle Kirkwood. So I got 2, with one of them being in the exact right spot.
And I had Lundgaard winning the race and Alex Palou in P2. So nice little 2 points for me there. I mean, Lundgaard had a great race, but Alex Palou's gonna Alex Palou.
Yeah.
I think we just have to hope for his hybrid to blow up at this point. But he's in a Honda, and Honda hasn't had the hybrid issues like Chevy has.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah, it's dominant form. So who's your hit the apex you had this week?
I had Felix Rosenqvist, and he didn't have a good weekend this weekend. Coming off of an amazing start to the season. And yeah, just unfortunately didn't have the pace this weekend.
Yeah, I had Pato O'Ward getting a top 5, and he was right there, ended up 6th place. So not a bad weekend for him, but by no means a hit the apex weekend.
Yeah, and I had him missing the apex this week, so just kind of a mid weekend from him. Felix Rosenqvist is P6 in points, by the way.
Wow.
He is the closest. Yeah, he's the closest Chip Ganassi car to Alex Palou. And he's in a
Wild.
Meyer Shank.
Wild. I missed the Apex. I had Alex Plo, L take, honestly. So
Yeah, I can't
man
believe
can
people
dream.
would put Alex Palou and Miss the Apex. I just don't
Yeah,
understand how you do that. How you put Alex Palou and Miss the Apex.
I think he's foreshadowing something.
But yeah, we did not get a caution.
Yep, it did run green the entire time.
Looked like we might have been getting one when Louis Foster decided to try out how good at cutting grass his IndyCar is, but he kept it rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah, just I don't know. I'm itching for a caution. I don't usually
yeah,
itch for
but
cautions. I mean, we did get our fair share of cautions. I was sick of cautions by the end of Sunday with how NASCAR did, but
yeah,
that's for a later episode.
yeah,
Um,
but good on race control for not forcing it
yeah,
and just staying on business.
there was
Um,
probably two moments in the race that they could have put a caution out there
yeah,
if they were trying to Michael Massey it a little bit. But no, IndyCar's standing on business, and they're not throwing bullshit cautions to induce a competition caution. Thank God we aren't going to stage racing.
yeah, yeah. So, very curious to see how long. See if this running green somehow makes it to Indy 500 because
Mm,
there's no way. Mark my word right now, the Indy 500 will not stay green.
no,
That's physically not possible.
no.
Um,
Especially we've got Stingray Rob in the field theoretically.
yeah. So very curious to see if he gets to the Sonsio Grand Prix. But on the Sonsio Grand Prix, what we were talking about earlier, they came out and they made a rule that every car has to use 2 sets of each, the primary and the alternate, per race. Um, I've let this marinate. At first, I didn't like it. I think it's about as good as a thing they can do at this point
Yeah, it's
because
the only band-aid they
do
can put
anything.
this season.
You can't do anything to the car at the moment. So an attempt at band-aiding the season, this at least prevents it from ever being a fuel save, and hopefully puts it on people on a couple different strategies too. And I believe if that's the same as always, is that 2 sticker sets?
I believe it's 2 sticker sets.
Because I was gonna say they were talking about in the video on the broadcast of the Barber that it had to be sticker sets. So I'm assuming it's the same for Sonsio, the
Maybe
2 sets.
not. It might just be 1 sticker set of each, and you can run a scuffed set of each.
Yeah, maybe because I don't know because it'd be hard
It's
to
just
have
putting
two
that second
sticker
primary. Yeah, having 2 sticker alternates is going to be hard if you
because they get what they get 5 sets
five
of
sets of
each, and then
each.
you're gonna
You're
want to
going to
use one
use
free in
3 sets
quality.
in quali. Probably one
Yeah,
set in practice if you have a dry P2 to do a
yeah.
quali
So
sim.
probably
So a
so
lot of teams probably only have the 1 sticker set if they are
yeah, maybe one. It'd be one
getting
sticker
through
set
to
for
fast
each
six.
two.
Yeah. It might
Yeah,
be a
one
sticker
sticker
and a
for each.
scuffed. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how the strategy game will be because a lot of these races aren't going to be a 3 stop on fuel mileage. So are teams going to fuel the cars a little bit lighter, maybe, to account for that? And then maybe we'll get a little bit of weight shaved off the car in theory because they aren't fully gassing the cars? Or do you, because we saw it in the opposite in Long Beach where there was the green tires, the alternates were horrible, and they had no life in them, and Newgarden got off of them after 2 laps. Will we maybe see a team start on scuffed primaries, run a short distance on them, pit immediately, basically, to get the sticker primaries on, and then run a normal stint, and then 2 alternates to end the race?
yeah, very possible, especially from like a team further back, maybe in qualifying, just to try something.
And hope
Definitely
for a
should spice
caution
up
to get those
strategy.
reds on the car.
Definitely should spice up the strategy a lot. I'll be curious to see how it plays out on the Sonsio Grand Prix and on.
Mhm.
Um, good racing's around the corner though.
Oh God,
The
no!
oval.
As a Colton Herta fan, I'm taking the stance. I hate this change. Means they have to try to make more pit stops work.
You wish there was no pit stops. Period.
Dude, I wish we were F1.
No refueling.
One
Well, it's the
pit
tires.
stop.
It's the tires they usually mess up. You wouldn't want it to be one stop.
Yeah, but they gotta fly in a pit crew, dude. They have to, like, I'm sorry, mechanics that work on Colton's car, but we got to get you guys out of the pit lane because you guys know how to work on a car and build a fast car, but you do not know how to change a tire.
Yeah, it's unacceptable that a team as big as Andretti has such an incompetent pit crew consistently for Colton Herta.
And it's not even them. They had the same issue on Kirkwood's car, too. They had the rear right had issues on Kirkwood's car on his pit stop.
Was Kirkwood the one where they lost the wheel nut?
No, that wasn't Kirkwood. That was someone else. That was VK, I want to say.
Ah, okay. But yeah,
it was either an RLL or it was a back marker team.
Yeah, but
which makes me think it was VK that we were focusing on a pit screw up for a back marker. So I think it was VK.
Yeah, but interesting race for sure. Really curious how this tire rule plays out.
We have been we were at a historical IndyCar race, and it was not historical for the right reasons. We were there at the first hybrid race. So we're going to be at the race for the first tire change, the new tire change rules. So we'll see how it is. I think Firestone really needs to work on, like, I know that we had this, the reason we have this issue is we wanted more of a delta between the tires. And that's why Firestone has released this set of tires on street and road courses. But now we've gone too far in the other direction. And I think we need to close that delta to keep the strategy windows open for the teams, to make those backmarker teams be able to pull a random ass strategy out of their ass that might work.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's roll right into our predictions for Indy GP.
Yeah.
And then we can touch on NXT and our predictions for those.
Who you got in P3, Ryan?
My P3 is Colton Herta.
Okay, I've got another Andretti in P3. I think Kyle Kirkwood is going to get a podium.
Ooh, okay.
What about your P2?
Sticking the basics here, Christian Lundgaard.
Okay. I have to say Andretti's going to be on form this weekend. I got Colton Herta P2. The mechanics aren't going to fuck up any of the 3 pit stops.
We'll see. We will see.
And last but not least, who's your race winner for the Sonsio Grand Prix?
Free space, apparently, at the moment. Alex Palou.
Yeah, unfortunately, I predicted... Or, I actually don't think I even predicted him to win the last race, but... Yeah. I'm saving up my Alex Palou uses.
You can do it every other, so start stacking it here.
Yeah. I've got Christian Lundgaard winning the Sonsio.
I like that pick. I like that pick.
Who's your hit the apex? I kind of went a little bit out of left field, and this kind of loops into my 4th prediction for my hit the apex, but who's your hit the apex?
I think Joseph Newgarden is going to find himself a return to form. Looking at his results for this year, he started the year off with a 3rd place, looking great, typical Joseph Newgarden. Yeah. But then since then, it's been 13th, 27th, 10th.
He is behind an ECR in the standings right now.
Yeah, so I
he's sandwiched. This is horrible. He's sandwiched between an ECR and a DCR. He's got VK below him and Rossi above him.
Yeah, so hopefully just a better...
But Penske in general, man. 5th for Scotty Mack, 9th for Will Power, 11th for Joseph Newgarden. Penske's having a rough start to the year.
Yeah, it's been Alex Palou's year, but I really expect to see a return to form. As I fucked up my predictions, I somehow have Colton Herta as my miss the apex, even though I have him in 3rd.
Just hedging your bets, man. Just hedging your bets.
Apparently, Yeah, I just think it's gonna be better race for Joseph Newgarden and see the Joseph Newgarden of usual and the Penske usual. So, what
Yeah,
about you?
hopefully he
Who's
doesn't
your
show up
hit
to
the
the Indy
Apex?
500. My hit the Apex is Connor Daly. He was P3 in the Indy Road Test last month. Behind Scott Dixon was P1, Alex Plow was P2, and then Connor Daly was slotted in a nice P3. So that young ghost has kind of been shit since they threw a hybrid in the back of it. I say that after he got a podium in a race with the hybrid. But yeah, the Indy road course has like the least effect of any road course that they've felt with the hybrid. So I don't know. I just think he's gonna get a good result.
I like it. Not a bad pick at all. Who's your miss the Apex, Pat?
Look, I'm absolutely cooked here. I am not getting this, but I have to try. It's Alex Palou. He's missing the Apex.
One of us has to say it every week. You
Yep.
gotta try.
Because you're not going to be able to have him as your race winner next week. So,
Yeah.
well, next week will be next predictions will be Indy 500 stuff. So,
I'll tell you now, I'm not putting him winning the Indy 500, so don't worry.
wasn't he leading the full boost test?
I don't think so.
I thought he got pole for full boost test. I'd have to look.
So.
I know he was fastest one of the days, but I don't know if that was a no-toe full boost.
I don't remember. I don't think it was fastest with the no-toe full boost.
Who's your Miss the Apex, Ryan?
I got Scott Dixon missing the Apex.
It's a free space, brother.
Yeah, I had to pull it out. I had Colton Herta written down when I had him in third, and I realized, so I scrambled. Yeah, just think it's gonna be a Scott Dixon weekend. Not great for him. Curious to see.
Everyone gets to hear me typing on my keyboard to pull up the open test results. Plo was fastest in race trim. Scotty Mack was fastest with the full boost.
Okay.
Which I mean he had pole last year, so who knows?
Yeah. Who's your dark horse for this race, Patrick?
I got Junkos Hollinger, man. I think they're gonna get some decent results. We're judging it mostly on Connor Daly's performance. But hey, I would be down for Stingray leading some laps again too. I think he was back in the top 5 on a pit cycle this week.
Pipe dream. It's a pipe dream is what it is.
Look, I just need to see the look on his face on a podium. Maybe put a woman handing the trophy to him. That would be funny. Who's your dark horse, Ryan?
I got Rossi. I think maybe the ECR in general, but Rossi, I think he's gonna have a good weekend.
I don't know. I got a little bit of beef of calling him a dark horse, but
I mean,
he's 10th in the standings.
He's in Ed Carpenter Racing, brother.
I know, but it's Rossi.
But it's
a Rossi. Hold on, let me amend that. It's a Rossi, not in a McLaren.
Yeah.
Bro didn't know how to drive a McLaren. Wow, what's with my favorite drivers not knowing how to drive McLarens? We got Danny Rick and we got Alexander Rossi. But Rossi at least bounced back from it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think although
I'll give it to you because you need points, but
I don't think that's I think that's a dark horse. I mean, he's the top 10th out of
27.
Yeah, I mean 34.
Oh, 34?
They have Sato, Larson,
Ryan they have all of them on standings
Jack Harvey,
already.
Helio, Ed Carpenter.
Hey, say what you want, but Jack Harvey, he's P1 for pit reporting for me.
You're doing good.
Yeah, so
how about I just say ECR in general?
Yeah, ECR in general.
Rasmussen into it, who's not doing great.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Maybe you should stop making TikToks about being better than Rossi and actually be better than Rossi. That might help your chances here, brother.
It's wild because his TikToks are beefing with Rossi, and then his Instagram is love letters to Rossi.
And Rossi had no clue about the TikToks. It was brought up on the
on Off Track.
brought up on off track, and he's like, "I was golfing with him yesterday. What do you mean we're beefing?" And I'm like, "That's hilarious. Great content though. Rasmussen is stepped up his social media game, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's talk about
definitely.
the Indy Next race from Barber.
Yeah,
Shout out to the hometown boy, Evagoras Papasavas with a P2. It was Dennis Hauger in P1, of course, he's inevitable. Papasavas in P2, and then Loki Hughes in P3.
yeah, Locky Hughes P3.
Um, really good race in NXT. Jack William Miller, if I have to pick someone out of the race that did a phenomenal job, it's him. I mean, he came from the back of the field to a top 10.
Yeah, you mean he drove right through,
I mean, it's
ended up
his
in
fault that
eighth.
he was at the back of the field. Gotta control your emotions, brother.
Yeah, he'll learn though. That's obviously something man's got to learn. But yeah, starting 20th, ending up 8th, just absolutely great performance. Like I said, Pop Savas starting
Some
third,
reliability
ending second.
issues. Kyle Collette and um,
Nolan Aller,
Nolan Aller.
both out with mechanical issues. Was Callum Hedge having issues, but it didn't retire him? Just kind of had, if I'm remembering correctly, had some issues that. No, he started 18th, finished 18th. Never mind.
Yeah, no. It was Kyle that we didn't think. No, someone did. Maybe it was Callum Hedge. Somebody had the throttle go into limp mode. That was De Alba, I
Oh yeah.
think. Whereas
No,
throttle went
no, no.
into
I don't
limp
think it was
mode
Day
on
Alba.
the
I think that was Hedge. I think it was Hedge.
yeah, he had gotten up towards the front, but then on a restart, his throttle went limp. But
Yeah.
then they were
So,
able to fix it. So
but definitely a decent NXT race.
Papasavas controlled that. It was looking a little sketchy towards the end. Um, he
Love it.
definitely, I think, tire management is probably the thing that he's going to need to work on the most in NXT. But yeah, great race from him. Just a couple of lockups at the end that almost gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, yeah. But Dennis Hauger, absolute dominating race.
Yeah.
Pillow-esque. Never was a question about if he was going to win.
Real quick, can
Just
Cadillac F1 team please hire Alex Palou just so that we can have a championship battle in IndyCar again? But then Dennis Hauger is going to get promoted to IndyCar, and
I don't know.
nah,
Recently,
he does
NXT
best with the yeah, he does best with a lighter car though.
recently NXT dominating drivers have not done well in IndyCar. I mean, you got
Linus Tech Tips
both.
did pretty good.
You got both Luke. Well, now with the hybrid and how heavy the car
Oh
is,
yeah,
because now you have Jacob Abel and Louis Foster both not doing great. But
Jacobs in a
take that for
Dale
what it is.
Coyne, Louis in an RLL.
Take that for what it is. But that's the seats you're gonna get coming from NXT. Let's be
Nolan
realistic
Siegel
here.
was decent in NXT, and he's not. That hasn't translated that well.
Yeah. So, but
He
definitely
was
excited to see Dennis
decent
Hauger.
until McLaren finally wanted a permanent option like halfway through the season
Yeah. But
after they went through
definitely.
3 drivers.
Jesus Christ. Definitely interesting stuff. Let's get into our predictions. Or I guess first, you had perfect predictions, I believe, for the race in NXT, correct?
Yeah, so I had Dennis Hauger winning, Ivagors Papasavas hitting the apex. I don't know how a P2 debut is. I mean, I saw a stat that Indy Next put out from like the past 10 years, and the people who scored, I want to say it was P3 or better on debut. I want to say it was debut podiums. It reads like a who's who of IndyCar. It's like
Yeah.
Colton Herta, um, Alex Palou, Kyle Kirkwood, I want to say. I mean, just all of these like super amazing drivers. So I am excited to see what he can do and maybe get into IndyCar next year if he keeps these results up.
Maybe let him cook for a year. Want
Um,
to marinate.
and then I pulled a free space, which I am not allowed to pull this week because we changed our rules to prevent just easy predictions. And I had Haley Deegan. She was 30 seconds off the back of the field.
Finished above Callum Hedge though.
So Hedge had some issues then. Callum Hedge isn't that slow. He's not a driver that I rate super high, but he's not that slow.
Yeah, she was. Oh yeah. Callum Hedge and Haley Deegan, the 2 drivers down a lap that didn't have mechanical issues and were
Oh
running.
yeah, because you were trying to say that Haley Deegan being on the lead lap was a negating factor for Miss the Apex.
When your average finish is 20, getting 17th and being on the lead lap is not a Miss the Apex for you. When
But
you
then
have
Dennis
no road
Hauger
course
lapped her, and
experience,
he had no.
I still think it's cheap, and to this day, I think her finishing above 20th on a road course, which she has no experience doing,
He's saying this, but he's going to have Haley Deegan as one of his Miss
because I don't make bitch predictions. All right, I make real predictions. I don't say, hit the apex, Dennis Hauger, miss the apex, Haley Deegan, get him out of here. But yeah, free space.
But then bro had Scott Dixon as his Miss the Apex.
Brother, I panicked. Okay, I panicked. I went 2 of 3. I had Miles Rowe hit the apex, De Alba missed the apex, and a Papasavas win.
He dreamed.
I dreamed, and I will continue to dream. And
he was one position
stop.
off of a win. Like, I mean,
yeah, basically there.
I was hoping for a top 5 on debut.
Yeah, top 2.
And then I got really excited during qualifying.
Let's roll right into our predictions. We have 2 NXT races this weekend.
Yep, one on Friday and one on Saturday. So we'll be at race 2 when we're up there for the
second one.
Who you got winning race 1, Ryan?
Tom, take my free space, brother. Dennis Hauger.
I unfortunately do not have a free space available this race. Ivagoras Papasavas is going to keep that momentum going, and he is going to get a race win here. But I don't think he's going to qualify great.
Oh, okay. I like it. There's levels. I like it.
Levels.
Who's your hit the apex?
I've got Callum Hedge hitting the apex. I think he's going to bounce back from a bad weekend and get a nice solid finish this weekend. Have a good race.
Similar vibe. I have Calculette. Just a bounce back after mechanical failures.
Sorry. I have Jack William Miller. Callum Hedge is my race 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have Jack William Miller. Amazing weekend last weekend, so I think with him being able to qualify a top 5 is definitely on the cards.
Yeah. What's your Miss the Apex?
My Miss the Apex is Dennis Hauger. There was some shenanigans turn 1 at the Indy GP last year for NXT and IndyCar, I think.
Yep.
And I think that Dennis Hauger's going to get caught up in those shenanigans. Someone's going to go a little bit deep, maybe take out a couple of the front runners. And then it'll be who can race the best. It's Ivagoras. Who's your Miss the Apex, Ryan?
I got Jack William Miller.
We're beefing.
I think he's going to qualify well, but I don't think he's going to have a good result. What the result, how that will happen, who knows? We will have to wait and see. But that's just the vibe I'm getting.
He's not a rookie, is he?
No, I don't think
I feel like we met him last year and he was chill. Because I think I was pretty surprised that he Oh, holy shit, Robert Schwartzman is in the lead for the Rookie of the Year right now.
Good Lord.
The options are Robert Schwartzman, Louis Foster, and Jacob Abel. And Kyle Larson somehow. He's not a rookie.
I think Jack William Miller is a rookie, no?
Maybe he is.
I don't see any 2024 standings. It just says 2025.
Okay. Then I'm wrong. But yeah, race 1, it's going to be Indy road course. So, what about race 2, Ryan? You can't use Dennis Hauger, so who do you have winning race 2?
Yeah, Lockie Hughes winning race 2.
Okay. Dude had a great race, a great season in USF Pro, so.
Yeah. He's talented.
I do love the USF Pro 2000 scholarship car. Those are like that livery is usually pretty good.
Fire.
I'm taking my free space for this race. Dennis Hauger's winning.
I like it. You got to use it.
Yep.
You got hit in the apex.
I got Callum Hedge hitting the apex.
I got Papa Savas.
Another solid result. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it. You got missing the apex.
I got Kyle Collette missing the apex.
Okay.
Not necessarily a slow driver, but sometimes he can be a little crash happy.
Definitely, for sure. I got Max Taylor, just pure vibes pick, honestly.
Pure
no
vibes.
thought, no reasoning behind it.
Max Taylor, you got to prove him wrong now.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Yeah, overall, I'm really excited to be out at the Indy GP this weekend and get to see race 2, the NXT and the NTT race, obviously.
Yeah, it'll be our first Indy and Indy NXT race of the season.
Yeah, first of 3.
4.
Really 4. First of 2 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Really excited for that. Really excited for this weekend. I'm sure we'll have some content stuff there.
Yep.
Got some cool photos coming from Patrick here soon this weekend, next weekend. I said nothing.
I mean, I'm taking some at IMS for the road course, but that's mainly just for us to have so that I don't have to buy stock photos if we're talking about IndyCar on the website. Which, go check out the new website, outsidelinemedia.com. We're starting to bring some news and some other stuff to you. Follow us on our socials, all that good stuff. Been trying hard to keep up to date with all the news going on, the Alpine situation. Probably releasing a video on Instagram talking about that and just kind of going over it because it's after we already released our F1 video for this week.
Yeah, just of course as it goes. A lot of other good racing this week. Obviously got IndyCar, NASCAR, IMSA. We have an IMSA video coming out later this week. Same with our NASCAR video. F1 video is already out.
Yep.
Check it out. A lot of
it's
stuff coming up.
Finals week for me this week, so starting next week, there's going to be a lot more content coming out because I will just have time.
Let's be nice.
I mean, I'm still going to be working 32 hours a week, so
yeah. But yeah,
I'll have a free day now, though.
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment.
Let us know who you think's going to do great in the NXT race, because let's give some love to those young drivers.
Yeah, check it out, watch it, support it, go out to your local track, bring back Kentucky Speedway.
Keep an eye out for the NASCAR video coming out tomorrow. Everyone have a great rest of your night.